Hi everyone! It's Sherry here again sa Bonjour, Guten Tag, Ciao, Kamusta? So welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to discuss with you about marrying a Filipina. So those foreign men out there, whether you're white, black, yellow, brown, whatever, you're on the right track. So if you want a piece of advice or tips, listen or watch this video. Okay, so basically, finding a wife for a partner is the same all over the world as far as I'm concerned. It's entirely up to you to decide if she is the right one. But as far as I'm concerned, it's the same. So, but as a Filipina happily married to a British guy, I can say that at first it's not really smooth sailing. But because we love each other, respect each other, we're still together for almost 17 years, married, but we've been together for almost 18 years, but married almost 17. Okay, so if you guys really want to marry a Filipina, here are the tips or advice I can give you. One, what are you really looking for? You should know, because for example, if you've been married before and you have bad experience with your ex-wife or ex-partner, so by now you should know what you're looking for. Whether it's a Filipino or not, you should know what not to look for. Okay, if I were you and you've decided that, okay, Filipina is the right girl for me after doing all your researches. So if I were you, don't just go for looks or body, because that won't last. You have to really go for or know the girl's personality as well. You need to know her likes, dislikes. So that's for me. The first thing is get to know the girl well, especially her personality. Alright, do you prefer a mature woman or a young one? Well, age doesn't really matter because I'm married to a guy who's a lot older than me. But I prefer someone who's older than me as a Filipina. But on the practical side, if I were you, don't marry someone who's young enough to be your granddaughter. Because you really need to be fair to this girl as well, and to the child that you're going to have if you plan to have a child later on in life. Because for example, if you're 60 and you're marrying a 25-year-old girl, if that child of yours, for example, is 10, you'll be 70. You'll be like great granddad. So sometimes you have to think about it. I'm not ageist or anything, but I know how it feels to be married to an older person. So you really have to be fair as well to your future child and your wife. Next will be the language barrier. Okay, in the Philippines, English is our second language. Okay, we know that. We can read and write English, but not everyone can understand. Especially if you have a different accent, not everyone can understand you. And you have to really take that into consideration. I won't really go much into details for this because it's hard for me to upload, so I'll make it quick. Okay, not all Filipinos are the same. That's the next one. Not all Filipinos are the same. For example, me and my husband, we're happily married. What happens to us may not happen to you. You may end up being unhappily married. So you have to be very careful. So you have to think it that way. Oh, I saw someone who's happily married to a Filipina. I may be that person one day. Okay, it's a good thinking. But you have to be realistic as well and check if will it happen to me too. So you need to be realistic because what can happen to someone may not happen to you or vice versa. For example, some Filipinas are caring or very respectful to the husband. Some are not, especially these days, because you never know, the young ones these days have, I mean, they have different values from older people like us. Okay, next will be Filipinos or Filipinas are very sensitive. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but for those who hasn't heard of it, we have this word as tampo or matampuhin. If you say something not nice to a Filipina and she's really hurt about it, and you really hurt her feelings, being sensitive, it may, for Filipinos, it's really nothing. It's like normal for us to have this tampo feeling because we're kind of sensitive. But sometimes it will take an hour or a day for someone to recover from these feelings. So if I were you, be careful as well when you say something. Because with my experience before, when I got here in UK and I've been here for maybe a month or so, my husband will say, "Oh, don't be stupid. You're stupid." It hurts. It hurts me. It hurts me then. But come to think of it, as time went on, I got used to it. Because for some foreigners or some people, calling someone stupid or saying something, "Oh, don't be stupid," is nothing. But for Filipinos, that's a big deal. So that's something you have to be careful about. You can say it maybe later on when you've been together for years, but not the initial stage. Okay, another thing is majority of Filipinos are family oriented. So you have to be ready to share your partner, your girlfriend, or your wife to other members of her family or her friends. She's had these people before you, so you should be able to share her with others, so you won't have problem later on. I made a list here, so I won't be able to forget. And another thing, to protect yourself, make sure that she's not just after your money or a passport to go to US, to Europe, or any other place. So you really have to be very careful. And if someone asks you for money, even though you haven't seen her yet, or you've been only together for a week or so, just think to yourself, why is she asking money? Am I responsible for her? We're not even married yet, and she's asking me for money. So that's a big no-no. If someone asks you for money right away, I'm telling you now, she's not the right girl for you. Because no one in her right mind, for example, if she's really a good person, she won't ask you for money. She's got relatives or other people to ask money to. So just be careful and watch out for that sign. Okay, another thing is, ask, if you want to marry someone, ask her or make sure that she is definitely single, unattached, not married, or if she's been married before, ask her if she's annulled. Not because you don't trust her, ask her for the documentation to prove that she's annulled. That is, if you really want to marry this person. Because you don't want to end up stabbed or murdered by a jealous husband later on. So that's what I can say. Just be very, very careful as a foreign person. Okay, if she's got children as well, ask yourself if you're ready to accept her children as your own. Because you don't want to have an argument later on in life and end up divorce. So if you really accept her for what she is and for what she's already got like children, fine, go for it. Okay, and another thing that normally happens in the Philippines, expect yourself to pay or pay for the bills when you go out with the family or friends. That's how it is in the Philippines normally. But not in general, but most of the time, you're expected by the relatives to pay for the bill. If you don't like it, then if you don't like that idea, then you can discuss it with the girl or make sure if it's the right thing for you. If you cannot tolerate that, then Filipina is not the right woman for you. Or find a family of this. Find a family that won't do it. Or check with your girlfriend or future wife before you get married. Okay, and another thing which is important as well is check her background. Is she from good family? Have you checked her friends? Are they nice? Are they good? Just check how they talk. You can tell anyway. Even if it's in Tagalog. Just check the facts as well that she's giving you if it tallies with everything. Because I know I'm a Filipina. I want you to know that Filipinos are good, but not all of us are good. Some similar to other nationalities, some aren't that good. And another thing, do not rush. Take your time. This is a life commitment, so if I were you, take your time. Try to be friends with one another before getting married. Because once you're married, it's hard. Because some people, they get to know the person only when they get married. Some people are lucky, the woman or this Filipina turned out to be nice. But others, when they get married, after a year or two, the true coloring came out. And they end up separated or divorced. You don't want it to happen to you. Another one is religion. I know majority of you should know Filipinos are Christians, or it's a Christian country. Majority are Catholics, and where in Mindanao there are Muslims, but majority are Christians. So if you're, for example, a Muslim and you want to marry a Filipinos, Catholic, or Christian, you should take that into consideration. Because you never know. Because some people, I think they split up because of differences with their faith or religion. Oh, another thing, cultural differences. You have to take that into consideration as well. Your culture is different from us and vice versa. And you'll have differences as well when it comes to food. Filipinos, Pinays would love to eat rice most of the time. Well, I used to be like that before, but since I've been in UK for, well, in total, give or take 16, 17 years. So it's different. I've adjusted to the way people eat here. We tend to eat more potatoes now than rice. But majority of Filipinos, we do eat rice. And expect her to eat rice in the morning as well. Not only lunch and dinner. Because it's just normal. That's the way things are in the Philippines. Lastly, make sure that you love her and she loves you. Respect her and she respects you. Because that's the most important thing. If you're just looking for a Filipina to be your slave, well, that's not a reason to get married. And you have to make her feel loved as well, and vice versa as well for the Filipina who's watching this. And make sure that you're true to each other. So basically, that's all I can say. And to foreigners out there, just be very, very careful. Some end up in tears, and I don't want that to happen to you. And if you can find one, for example, in your own country, I think it's a lot better because you don't really have much adjustments to make. But if you've decided that they're not the one for you and the Filipina is the right one for you, just be very, very wise and think very carefully before you jump. And all I can say now is good luck to your search, and may you have a happy future with your future Filipino wife or partner. And that's all. And if you want to have if you want me to give you other tips on other stuff like about Philippines or Filipinos, just make a comment. Anyway, I think I've talked enough, and I've done 15 minutes. I've taken 15 minutes of your time. So I would like to thank you for watching. And so this is Sherry signing off now. And if you like my video, please click like, share, subscribe. And if you want to be notified of my future uploads, please click the bell button below. So that's all for now, folks. So, ciao, au revoir, over the sen, paalam, in Japanese, sayonara, and cheerio!